What to do when everything is bad? Who will answer this question? When doctors and psychologists can't help you, what should you do? How to sleep peacefully, how to go to work. Periodically, I would go out onto the balcony, look down, and desperately wanted to be down there. There was no understanding of why this was happening. I just constantly felt pain and unwillingness to do anything further. I just didn't want to, you know? Even while doing my favorite thing, I constantly automatically asked myself a question. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? You are born, you throw pebbles into the water, you run around with the boys in the yard, you launch airplanes, you play children's games, and everything is so cool, and everything is going so well. And you finish college, military school, you ride horses, you fulfill all your dreams, and everything is wonderful. You have a wonderful, smart wife. You have 4 children. They are all healthy. You have wise parents. You have a home. You have a beautiful refrigerator with food in it. You know, everything is good. But there is some minotaur inside of you, and he is gnawing at you. I'm not to blame for him gnawing at me. I don't know what kind of minotaur it is. And he has been gnawing at you since childhood, as long as you can remember. Why am I unhappy? Why am I dissatisfied? But there was no answer to this question. Suicidal thoughts were my constant companion. I found myself in a dead end in life, not knowing how to get out. I lost my job. I lost my family. Well, you could say I lost the most precious thing I had until now. And at some point, when I realized that, I felt that my journey was over. I once again typed a question about the meaning of life on the internet and automatically opened a link to system vector psychology. From the first words on the main page, I began to receive answers to my questions. It was about what I had observed throughout my entire life. It was unusual and unfamiliar. Why? Because there was a habit of not believing. A habit of rejecting has formed. I want to say that I spent most of the course not in the city or in the village, but in the forest. At 10 p.m., I got into the car and drove to the forest to the nearest cell tower, where there was a high-speed internet signal. I did not have such conditions in my country house, and all night I sat in the forest in the car studying this science. I realized that without this knowledge, there is simply no life for me. System vector psychology is not a magic pill. This is a tool given to you for working with yourself. Yuri Burlan studies all types of people in his science, absolutely all. And in this way, you will see yourself and your problem if you listen to him carefully. The biggest, in my opinion, problem is the unconscious problem. Why? Because if something happened to you, and you just forgot about it, it doesn't mean that it disappeared. It simply fell out of your vision field. But it continues to cause irreparable harm to you. And when you listen to Yuri, he describes various problems from different sides, seems to be talking about the same thing, but says it differently. And suddenly, you remember what happened to you in childhood. You remember some problem, some pain of yours. You realize this, and in this way, working with yourself, your psyche, you begin to receive answers to your questions. Why is something happening to you in one way or another? Why do you think and perceive things in a certain way? Why do you perceive what happened to you one way or another? In other words, that is what makes up the subject of your psyche. By taking this course, I learned to see the psyche of other people through key expressions that they say. Using the system that connects a person's external manifestations with their actions in the psyche and understanding people, you begin to not only sympathize, but even have a certain love for them, which you are capable of. Did I get any results from this course? Without a doubt. The main result is that I stayed alive. And such results as getting rid of bronchial asthma or psoriasis, against this background, they just pale in comparison. The diagnosis of bronchial asthma was given to me a long time ago. I don't even remember when. Just like psoriasis at the institute. I suffered, consulted doctors, used insurance, visited very good clinics, but I didn't receive any help. So when my resources in this regard were exhausted and my faith disappeared, I stopped doing it. Such things are not noticed. You are not waiting for another attack. You simply understand that you need to keep living, and when it happens, use the coveted medicine spray. But there was no attack, and 7 months have passed, and it is still not here. The calluses on my elbows have healed with such new skin that I still can't believe it. This skin feels softer to me than the rest of the skin on my body. Such miracles happen. After completing the System Vector Psychology course, I don't know how to say it, but some huge avalanche of questions was solved for me. Maybe it sounds very loud, but I understood the meaning of my life. I understood what needs to be done next in order to be happy. Even if I can't get my family back, even if I can't get anything else back, I know what to do next. And this makes my life possible. After completing the course, I regained my sense of wholeness. This feeling when everything is in order, you can and you want to live. And this automatically means the absence of negative, including suicidal, heavy thoughts. You no longer tell yourself, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to live. I want to live. I go out onto the balcony and look up, not down. My nose catches the sense of spring. My eyes follow the clouds. For in my life, spring has come again, and that means everything will be fine.